We needed to be able to control the speed and direction of our trolling motor from the helm, so we made a speed control box that ended up working like a charm. First thing we did was hop on Amazon and find a speed controller and then find a good box to put it in. Then we barbarically cut out the holes for the switch, digital display, and knob out of the front of the box with a Dremel. We used my brother's drill press to cut holes out of the back of the box where the motor and battery cables had to come out of, and it went much better than the Dremel. Next, we put it all together and gave it a go. The first thing we did was to gun it for a bit to see if anything burst into flames. Luckily, nothing caught on fire, but the box did end up getting pretty hot, so we took off the cover. We noticed that when we were at 100% on the display, the motor was using around like 500 to 600-ish watts, which was kind of normal, so that was good. But then when we turned it down to 50, the motor was actually only using about 130 watts, meaning the output wasn't really linear. We were kind of bummed out about this at first because we thought the box was kind of broken, but then we figured out that it was actually better because we had more control on the lower end and we could actually dial in the throttle better when we were trying to save energy. When we tested the reverse on the switch, we couldn't get the motor to work, so we had to get to the bottom of that. First thing we noticed was that this little 3-position switch actually felt like it had 4 positions with like 2 in the middle. So we replaced it with a much easier to use and more heavy duty switch, which worked way better. But it didn't actually solve the no reverse issue. So we decided to rip the head off the trolling motor to bypass all the internal electronics and hook it directly up to the motor. This actually ended up solving the issue, so it must have been something inside the Minn Kota electronics that was giving us our troubles. Later, we raised the circuit board off the little plastic box with a piece of wood and little riser tabs to get more airflow around the board to cool it down a little. You could add a voltage meter or a battery monitor on this box, but we just put ours on the helm the other day. We used 6-gauge wire to extend our trolling motor cables from the motor to the speed control box and to the battery. We have to undo these little screws every time we want to take off the motor, but we're going to add a quick connect to the trolling motor cables to make it easier. Click on the next video!